Well, guys, I'm going to prove to you that this world is rigged. Everything is rigged. It's a game. It's like you're pawns. Everything is done by the numbers. A group of secret societies run this world. And if you go against these secret societies, you are on a kill list. You are considered a conservative, just like Jesus Christ. And they will crucify you. They will hunt you down. They will watch you illegally. It doesn't matter. They will stalk you. They will pay your neighbors to harass you. They will pay your family to harass you. They will use coercion, and they will racketeer on you. They will have someone call and say, this person is this, and they're crazy or whatever, or this person's dog is roaming on the neighborhood, and the next thing you know, you're threatening court, and they're trying to arrest you and trying to say you've got to do this. It's crazy what's going on in the world. And by the way, the word crazy, and I'm going to break it down for gematria, okay? CR is a symbol of Christ. It's always been that. That is the symbol number 3 and the number 18, okay, which is the number 9. And this is a symbol of 12, which is the Trinity. Okay? Christ. C-R-A, Trinity. So Trinity means masculine, feminine, just like the flag of Israel. Isis, Ra, that's the two Trinities. The female and the male creates electricity. Okay? Same as E equals MC squared. E is energy, equals M, Mary, C, and that's consciousness associated with, so M would be the number 13, which would be 1 and 3 is 4, right? And so that is the M is the square, and C, E equals MC squared is consciousness squared. C squared is the number 33. Jesus dies at 33. It's a very simple formula. So Z is a symbol of God. G-O-D in gematria is 26. Z is the 26th letter of the alphabet. It's also the number 8, which is the 2 female twin souls. That's when the left brain becomes spiritual and the right brain becomes spiritual. That's what they call a Jew. J is 10, right? Like planet, internet. That's 10 backwards, by the way. 10 is a symbol of perfection. It is the perfect human. 9 is the almost perfect human, right? 9 is a symbol of when you face the devil. 11 is when you're reborn. So when they do 9/11, that adds up to 20. That is the number of the cross. It's very symbology. Jesus and cross in gematria is both 74, which is number 11. And let's write down the number 11, E-L, okay? L, electricity, E-V-E, there's the word Eve, that's the female, and N, which is the North Star. That is the neocortex. That's where they get Neo in the Matrix. This is the higher mind. N is a masculine, feminine symbol. Look at it. It shows a phallic, and then it shows the vagina. Okay, the letter V. 22, 22. That's what it means. 44. 4 and 4 is 8. God. Okay, north is the North Pole. That's where Satan Claus lives, according to that. So let's say you're in a crisis, right? And you've got, people racketeering you. You've got the Democratic Party paying billions of dollars, and then you have local police that are hunting you down like a witch hunt. And they will stage an arrest. They'll have somebody perpetrate a crime. They come to your house. You react to that crime. Instead of arresting the person committing the crime, they arrest you. For example, an ASPC officer will drive up and said, someone called and reported. Well, the person that called and reported is the same people that are stalking you. Okay? They have to give you the information of the report. So if it's a valid report, then tell me who it was. And I will prove to you that that person is harassing me. Okay? that is part of it, like an Antifa type of organization. So let's say you get on the internet and you say, okay, you're in a crisis, you need help. Well, guess what? You see suicide, depression, pages and pages of this. So what is the agenda of the elite? If people are hunting you down, racketeering on you, then that sounds crazy. He must be crazy. This is reality. They're going to try to say that we're crazy, even though we're telling them a reality. It's just a modern day story of Jesus Christ. Crucify Christ and release Barabbas, the real criminal. This is exactly what's happening in America. So also you'll see all of their agendas, domestic violence. Well, that's all geared for women. What about men that are being domestically violent? Matter of fact, I will prove to you without a doubt that there's more men being stalked, targeted, covertly harassed, tortured. They're trying to manipulate the system to put men in prison. They're being pussified with drugs and chemical warfare. They're being assaulted by video games. They're having their jobs taken away and given to foreigners, which is then in itself crushing for a man. So there is definitely a war on men. But guess what? The women are next. Once the men are all in prison and taken out, the Democratic Party, which I call Democrats, and it's not really a party. It's just a bunch of bankers who want to destroy the United States, the Constitution, God's law. They want to get rid of God in the U.S. Christianity is the biggest threat to Satan, I assure you. Again, first it was Jews, real Jews, not the fake Jews in Hollywood, but real Jews, and now it is Christians. They're hunting you down. It was American Indians, and it was black people, and then it was the Irish, and whatever. It just goes on and on. They just hunt down people who have the two twin female brains. The left brain is rational, and the right brain is critical thinking. Instead of the left brain controlling both sides, which is just living in fear, hate, revenge, greed, service to self, individual, do something for yourself. Well, when you see that there are men trying to kill people, trying to force vaccines, which is poison on our kids, they're spraying chemicals in the air, poisoning us, eugenicsing us, they're poisoning your food, they're radiating you to death, lake of fire, a bunch of microwave cell towers, changing the weather, changing the Schumann cavity resonance of the earth. Okay, burning down buildings with directed energy weapons, houses in California. They're creating earthquakes, and then they go in there and the FEMA will go in and pretend like they're going to rescue people. And what do? They steal their money. They steal it for themselves. And then they use it to conquer the United States, to pay these Judith Iscariot personality people like local police, fire departments, city workers. Anybody can sign up for these covert harassment, covert tactic programs. And guess who's funding them also? The corporations. Because you'll see the corporations like my ex-corporation, Cox, okay? They chose me for a voice-to-skull technology program. Chose me because I'm right-brained. I'm an alpha personality. And they have been paying out money to have people covertly harass me, target me, electronically torture, treat me like a science experiment, read my brain mapping initiative, read about it, scan you like you're some kind of a rat in a cage. And this also is supported by the military. If you think you're going to call the military and get help, good luck. I've tried that too. They're not going to help you. They're the ones, the Navy's the one spraying the chemical trails. That somehow people see all these grids in the air and they think these are commercial flights. And they don't care. All you got to do is look up on the internet and you'll see the commercial flights, and those aren't them. The commercial flights are live and they show them. That's not commercial flights. Unbelievable. So there's people out there that go, do something for yourself. I'm like, what? How can you think about yourself right now when there are men planning to kill everybody on planet Earth and start a whole new race of eugenics, artificial intelligent humans? They don't need smart humans. They just need humans that are just good enough to push buttons on a machine. That's why the cars drive themselves, park themselves, read your brain, scan your brain. They interact with your emotions. That's why they put me in this program, so that they can have interaction between the machine and the human without any wires, without a cell phone, just from your brain or your neurological system to the car. Simple as that. That's exactly what they're trying to do. And you can just sit there still and just think a thought, and the car knows what you're thinking. Or the machine, or the robot, or whatever. Or the super soldier. There's all kind of initiatives, guys. So just to know that you're in a crisis, right? You've got police, private citizens, democratic things like the ASPCA. You can look up and you'll see that all their money goes towards the Democratic Party. Covertly harassing you, targeting you, racketeering you. This year alone, the racketeering has cost me well over $25,000. And they're trying to get more. They took away my guns, my civil liberties and freedoms, violation of the Constitution. And now they're trying to take away my animals. They're violating my First Amendment, which is my freedom of speech. They take down your YouTube channel. And now they're trying to take away my last line of defense, my dogs that protect me. Oh, let's siege his dogs. For what reason? Because when they go to kill you, the dogs would leave evidence of a crime. Period. For example, if the guy that was going to help me testify, Marvin Tweedy, the guy that was renting my property, and he had my dogs in his house, and let's say there was foul play and somebody went in there and hung him, broke his neck and hung him from a rope, it would take two people to do it because he's a big guy. What would happen if my dogs are in there? Well, it wouldn't be a pretty sight. Those dogs would protect him, especially me. I mean, there would be evidence of a dead dog, blood residue, all kind of things that they would have to cover up. But of course, listen to this, the sheriff's wife, what if the sheriff's wife runs the coroner's office? So they can actually commit a murder and then strategically cover it up. That's crazy. Or they can just commit a murder, sell the body parts of the human because it matches some rich cocksucker, and get away with it at the coroner's office and get filthy rich. Because there's also people willing to pay millions of dollars for body parts. It's kind of like in Hollywood, they kill babies and drink their blood so they can stay young, like a bunch of vampires. You know, Interview with the Vampire, when the little girl, you might want to pay attention to that. It's very, very real. So, anytime you're in a crisis, the only thing you can do, there's help for women, no help for men. Domestic violence. There's depression, suicide prevention. So if I call and say the police are trying to kill me, what do? Oh, you call the suicide hotline. Okay, we got you. You're suicidal. Let's go put him in some kind of mental ward. Seriously. All these people are trained to do is deal with suicide. That's it. So if I call up and say police are trying to kill me, trying to racketeer me, I call the suicide hotline. Do you see how this works? What insanity.